Hello, welcome to the show, pals. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know we were going to make it on.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
Hello, I am KJ. This is What's Poppin' in Pop Culture. It is a collaboration of Geek Vibes Nation and KJ Today, part of the Kinda Nerdy Network, and we are excited to have you here with us tonight. As I think, really, this is a special edition. I'm not going to say that we're not going to get off topic because sometimes we do, but sometimes we do. But there's so much going on with Marvel. I even wore my Marvel shirt here.
I love it.
Yeah, we're going to be talking Marvel. So joining me is executive producer Patches, also with the KJ Today Show. And of course, we all love Tia with Geek Vibes Nation. And she's the reason that we're here with you tonight. So let's do this, Tia. Let's talk about it. Patches, I will reveal to you that Patches just watched the trailers.
Oh, nice.
About 20 minutes ago. He was like, oh, I should probably watch those trailers.
I've been busy.
I know, but like, don't you remember a time where a Marvel trailer came out and it didn't matter what you were doing? You stopped what you were doing.
Oh, yeah.
And you watched it.
You'd stop your day. Your life would stop in its tracks.
When the trailer first dropped for Infinity War, I literally, I was at work. I literally ran to the bathroom just to watch it because I was like, oh my God, it dropped. So yeah, I remember those days.
All right. Well, Tia, I'm gonna, let you're in charge tonight. We're just here to, hopefully bring some good conversation.
You know what? I changed my mind. I lost my steam. Good night.
No, I'm sorry.
All right.
It's time for Tia to take over.
Oh no, Tia takeover. Look at that. Okay.
Yeah. We should do that on our Instagram sometime. It's a Tia takeover day.
I love it. You know what? That's the marketing brain there at work and everything.
I mean, look, you've got cats. Everybody would be fine. Just post cats.
But no, I mean, listen, it's been exciting, right? First, I do want to start by saying Deadpool and Wolverine did hit Disney Plus today. I am probably the only person in the world who still hasn't seen it because I was waiting for it to hit Disney Plus. So
man.
I know. Please don't spoil this.
No, but like, had we known, we were the people who, even though we knew it was like, okay, like in 3 more weeks it'll be on Disney Plus, we still bought it when it came out, when you could buy it for, I don't know,
it was like $30
$30 it was like, we'd spend more money if we went out to dinner tonight, so let's just buy it.
Well, my thing was, right, so like I've been very kind of not going to the theater since, the big thing and everything happening, right? You can't say stuff like that on YouTube if you want to get monetized. It's so silly, but so it's like
the incident,
yeah, the incident. So I haven't really gone to the movie theaters, especially since movie theater prices are so. Long story short, when I saw it was hit streaming, I instantly was like, yes. But then it was like, oh, not on Disney Plus. You can get it on Prime or here or there. And it's like $30. And I'm like, if I wanted to spend $30, I would have went to the movies. So when I saw that it was coming to Disney Plus, I was like, I'll just wait. At this point, I've waited long enough. So, but if you are like me who waited so long, or you want to rewatch it, it is now officially on Disney Plus for free. On top of you buying the service monthly. But anyway.
I also paid to see it in the theater twice, then bought it when it came out.
And we're paying for the subscription.
So we can keep watching.
Listen,
you're welcome, Ryan Reynolds.
That was me during, the golden age and everything, right? During that time was when I was getting screeners. I saw both Infinity War and Endgame with the screeners, but then I additionally went and bought and went to see it again. So you know what? they already got my money. It's fine. But so that's the first thing, obviously kicking off and everything.
So wait, when are you gonna watch it?
Tomorrow night, because tonight I was just like, I'm gonna be too tired and I'm not gonna fully be able to absorb it. Can I tell you, my aunt definitely like spoiled a big cameo a few weeks ago. Like I have been saying, as soon as someone mentions Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm like, I haven't seen it. And she's like, oh, you don't know about that. And I'm like, I would have loved to actually have discovered that when I saw it. So thanks. Thank you so much and everything.
Have you really avoided all the spoilers?
As soon as I see like a glimpse of it on TikTok, I instantly scroll and everything. I've been really good.
Oh man.
Wow. That's discipline.
That
That's serious discipline, dude.
I am impressed.
I think so. I don't know. Wow. I wanna like this, right? I have my 50-inch 4K TV. I think it'll be okay watching it, you know? I think
oh
it'll
yeah.
be good.
Yes. I think you'll be good. Yeah.
I think it'll be good. So but I also wanted to mention really quick, like, because there's like a few Marvel news stories, right? One being that Denzel Washington did say that he is going to be in Black Panther 3, and Ryan Coogler is currently writing a role for him. So we got him. We got Denzel Washington in the MCU. There you go.
That is awesome. About time.
That's gonna be awesome. Yes.
Yeah. So did you guys see Black Panther 2? Or
oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What'd you think about that?
We just rewatched it not too long ago.
Yeah.
I really did enjoy it. I mean, I thought that they did a great job. It made me cry all over again because I was like, oh gosh, I forgot. Here we go. I thought they did a great job honoring Chadwick Boseman, and then I really thought that the ladies kind of took over, and it was very well led, and it was a great story. And we rewatched it not too long ago, and I felt like I'd forgotten a lot of it. And I don't know if it was because there was so much sadness at the time when we were watching it. We just went into it knowing it was going to be hard, that I was like, I remember liking this, but I don't remember liking it like this much.
Yeah.
Like I thoroughly enjoyed it more watching it the second time, and I can only attribute that to because I wasn't drunk. I was, and I say that because I was definitely drunk when I saw Aquaman the first time and told him it was so good we needed to buy it. And like,
ooh. Did you regret that? Did you see
and then
it again?
we bought it, and I was like, oh, I saw that at Studio Movie Grill, and I had a lot of drinks. No, there was no drinking. I really did think that the second Black Panther was just as good. Obviously, it would have been very different had Mr. Boseman still been around. But I thought they did a great job of still giving us a story that didn't feel like we're only doing this because he's not around. It was a good continuation of the Black Panther.
Yeah, I agree. Like when it first came out, some people disliked it. I actually thought it was really entertaining. So it made me excited that we're getting a third one. Obviously, we have no idea what it's going to be about, what Denzel Washington is playing, but it's still cool. We got Denzel, so there's that news. And then I wrote things down, right, on my little notepad.
Oh, wow, you're so prepared.
I'm trying to be, I'm on the KJ Today show. I got to be prepared.
Which is like the opposite. Like, I'm like, I don't prepare for my own show, but I'm like, oh gosh, we're going to be on Geek Vibes tonight. I better keep it together.
I know I don't know if I should be revealing this, but this is me. That's me before interviews. It's like, oh, I'm interviewing someone. Okay. No research at all. I'm just like, hey, how you doing?
I do like, oh, squirrel. I am interviewing Lou Diamond Phillips tomorrow.
That's so cool.
I do feel like I need to make sure that he's been in so many things. I want to make sure that I don't, sometimes when I don't, because I also sometimes don't prepare. And then I'll be like, oh, I forgot that he was in this thing. And I would have asked him that had I not, just winged it.
Right.
So
Just see if he'll talk about Young Guns the entire time.
you know what's so funny is that yesterday in my car I'd like put on Amazon music 90s, and
Say Blaze of Glory.
Blaze of Glory came on,
yes.
and I was like rocking out to it. And it did remind me. I was like, oh, Lou Diamond Phillips was in this too.
I could bring this up.
But yes, that I will have that interview for Geek Vibes Nation, and know that I am also going to talk to him about his cats, because he has Maine Coons and he posts about them all the time. Like, I think he's got like 5 or 6 cats.
Yeah, you don't have to do any research then.
Yeah.
You're
So
golden.
we're good.
I think you're good.
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, okay, so you got this new movie out. Okay, cool. Drops tomorrow. Whatever. Let's talk about your cats.
Yeah. Shut up, cat time. All right.
Yep.
I appreciate that.
I don't think I will ask him. We haven't gotten him into the MCU yet, so I will ask him what he would like to do in the MCU. So yeah, I'm bringing it back around to Marvel.
Well, I was gonna say, I do like asking that. I'm like, do you like superhero stuff?
Mhm.
If so, like, would you be in Marvel or DC, and who would you play and everything? And I've always gotten good responses. I've never gotten anyone being like, I hate both of those. That's so stupid. I would never want to do that. So I'm happy about that.
Yes. I feel like, like this background kind of sets me up for being able to be like, so let's talk about some superhero stuff.
Do you see Captain America and Black Widow behind? Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's talk.
And I actually did at the last minute, just because with Michael Rosenbaum the other day, which I'm trying to, I didn't delete it, but I don't save things well. I don't organize my files well. So I have to find my Michael Rosenbaum interview. But right before
She
I was like,
stresses me out.
I was like, oh crap. Like, Smallville's this big thing, right? So I didn't take Cap and Widow down, but I did right here where my Damon Hedda darts are. I took that down and I put my Wonder Woman shield up.
That's a good one.
I was like, oh God, I gotta have something DC in there.
That's why it's on the floor behind you.
Okay. Yep. Because
it's all coming together.
I threw it up there. So hey, that's a little Easter egg for you when you go to watch my Michael Rosenbaum interview.
Run
about his new book, The Talented Farter, sound book. Yes, it was a great interview.
Oh God.
It really was incredibly enjoyable, but it was not what I expected to talk to him about. So
no, I can imagine soon. Not.
It's coming soon to Geek Vibes Nation. Stand by as soon as I find it.
Don't wait. What was it? Recently you gave me, what's his name? Tom Hopper from Umbrella Academy. You're like, oh, I've had this for 2 years. Here you go.
Yeah.
I know. I was like, hey, T, it's a little old, but
Here you
Umbrella
go.
Academy's back. Here you go. Yeah.
Listen, it was fine. It made sense. And actually, that's a great loop around, because Umbrella Academy was based on a comic book, and we're talking about comic book things. So there you go.
There we
Boom.
go.
All right.
Perfect.
See,
You're so good.
All coming together.
Before we get into the trailers, the one last piece of Marvel news is that Kevin Feige still says that he is committed to making the Blade movie, because it's been like 4 years or something since he announced that Mahershala Ali was supposed to play Blade. And I think people are getting a little worried. Are you guys getting worried about this?
Careful.
No. I was such a fan of Wesley Snipes being Blade. I think I don't mess with a good thing.
Yeah.
Don't read. That's, and the movie really hasn't aged out either. So I don't know why they're insistent on just recreating this. So, I mean, granted, it was the early 2000s, but just why are you recreating it so soon?
It's not.
Well,
soon, dude.
I think that though they want to bring Blade into the MCU. And I think they really wanted Mahershala Ali. And I think he was the one who was like, I want to be Blade. And Kevin Feige's like, well, we obviously want this guy. So if he wants to be Blade, let's just do Blade and stuff like that.
Dude, just bring back Wesley Snipes. He's still in great shape.
What is he in good enough shape to do this for another 20 years? Gotta think long term.
I don't know.
I mean, they got Hugh Jackman back into it.
And
So
yeah, hey, look at that. Good point.
why not?
Good point.
I haven't seen the movie, but I remember from the trailers, doesn't like Deadpool say like we're just gonna keep him for the next like 20 years or something?
Yes.
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 Exactly.
It's actually really funny. So
I
mean,
I-
you could do that with Wesley.
I guess you could. No disrespect to Wesley Snipes. That was not me being disrespectful. I'm just saying, like, I think that's why they just really wanted
Hey,
Mahershala
old
Ali.
guy, what are your plans for the next 20 years?
It's a decent question. It's like, I don't know. I just say it. Anyway. I'm going back to GVN. I'm not going. No,
I thought you were going to say I'm going back to bed. I'm like, this sounds great. Bye, guys.
Listen, not to like be distracted, but it is so dark out right now that, and it's been dark for the last like 2 hours that I'm like, wow, it's so late and everything. It's like, oh God, it's only 5. What the hell?
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
It's not been fun, but so I know that they released the trailer for What If season 3. I'm not going to go into that and everything. I like the animation style. I like seasons 1 and 2. I'll watch season 3. Apparently this is the last season. It's like one final. And I was like, oh shoot, you're not going to like keep doing this? Like, I don't know. I've gotten really into like animated stuff lately.
We didn't watch any of the second.
No, we only watched it. We only watched the first season.
We did like the first season.
Yeah, I think it was right around the time where we just got busy with other stuff.
Yeah,
that's a very generic way. We got very busy with other stuff. Sorry.
I think that's fair though. I think that's fair because I feel like that because it's like I saw this TikTok that was like, and suddenly the words came out of my mouth like, I don't really keep up with Marvel anymore, which is something I would never say like 10 years ago. And it's like, I kind of feel that. It's like I'm older, things get in the way. I'm sorry. I still love Marvel, but I can't be like how I was like 10 years ago.
But like, I don't know if they'll ever get that again. Like, I think they have to make their peace with some other way of keeping fans, because those of us that really started out with Iron Man and we were like, oh, they're going to maybe,
this
and
is
it
something.
was good, right?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, maybe they're going to do this. Maybe they're going to pull it off. Right. And then, there was Thor and it was like, hey, that was kind of fun. And then like Captain America. And then they're like, okay, 10 years, everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the day they announced that and I was like, it's Marvel Christmas for 10 years.
So if you guys remember Captain America, the first Avenger, they showed the trailer to the Avengers at the end. And it was like the craziest thing ever. You mean these people that I've seen in separate movies are all gonna be together?
Yes. We still, even when we watch that movie, we still watch the end credits.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, you just get those goosebumps.
I literally just did thinking about it. Yeah, as a matter of fact. I literally did.
God.
I don't know. And that was, it's just that the Infinity Wars, it was the way that they made it. I just don't know that there's anything else that stands the test of time like that they could. And because it was the first, even if they tried it, like I think they're trying some stuff yet, but like I just don't know that there's ever going to be anything like that again.
It was lightning in a bottle, really. It really was. I mean, it's now hear me out. To me, it's kind of like the superhero equivalent of the Beatles, right? Like they tested new grounds. They broke new ground on what they were doing. No one else had done it before. And, and there's never going to be another period and another group like that ever again.
Yeah. And like when I saw the other point where I got goosebumps was literally the first trailer for Infinity War, right? You're watching it. It's all great. And then at the very end, Thor going, "Who the hell are you guys?" and showing the Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm like, that's right. That's right. The Guardians are coming together.
Yep.
But at this point, it's like we kind of have seen everything. They've all been together already. And we know they're then going to be together. So it's like it's still exciting, but not that excitement that I did feel.
Right.
So
yes,
it is what it is. But I will say the trailers for the the 2 upcoming Marvel movies, I think look amazing. And I definitely want to talk about that with you. So I would love to start with Captain America Brave New World, which I have to say, as a little negative, I don't like the title. And I'll only say I don't like the title because there was a Peacock show that came out in 2020 called Brave New World. I very much liked that show. It got canceled after 1 season. And I'm like,
you're salty.
I was being salty, but every time I try and type in Brave New World to just look at content, Captain America stuff comes up now. And I'm just like, anyway, but
If it makes you feel any better, I don't remember, it was maybe last year, but sometime in the last few years, there was another movie that came out called Serenity. And I was like, absolutely not. Like, you do not get to call your movie Serenity. Like,
and they were like, yes, we do.
It's like rude. So I understand, because then there was like stuff coming up in my feed and stuff like, movie Serenity. And I'm like, that is not the movie. That is not Serenity.
So that's how I feel about it. But anyway, besides that, this is going to be the 4th Captain America where Anthony Mackie as Sam takes up the mantle. I mean, we saw him take up the mantle in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. This is his first official movie, right?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, I think the trailer looked amazing. I think the trailer looked absolutely amazing. It gave my favorite movie still to this day out of the MCU is The Winter Soldier. So anything that gives me those vibes, I'm here for. The action looked great. It looked jam-packed. Anthony Mackie's suit looked great. And believe it or not, I thought the way they made Red Hulk looked great. And, Marvel CGI has been a little questionable the last couple of years. So I was like, okay. So what'd you guys think of the trailer, though, before I blab on and everything?
Go ahead, KJ.
Oh, I did. And I appreciated that moment. Like, there needed to be the moment where he lands with the shield, but he's also got the wings, right? That it was like, and having Harrison Ford is just super cool. And he's like, "You're not Steve Rogers." And he's like, "No, I'm not." And then he's going to go off and do his own thing. Like, that stuff, like, good. Cause that's a difficult task to pick up the shield and then be like, "I'm not going to be Steve Rogers." So I like that they were establishing that. My only concern was that he just seems so mad. Like, I was like, I'm not used to, it'll be interesting to see Falcon really as the lead now as Captain America. And I like him because he does have a little more of a laid back attitude. So if becoming Captain America stresses him out to where he's not having fun, I will not enjoy this character as much. So I hope that we get a little more of that. He's still kind of fun and not, I know the stakes are high, but like, dude, I need you to be a little more fun. Like, that was
lighten up.
Right. I was like, this is a little too intense for me.
Well, I will say, like, I love the character Sam, right? From when he was first introduced in The Winter Soldier, I thought him and Steve had the most amazing chemistry with each other. Then, like, the butting of heads with Bucky was great, right? I will say that in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I didn't feel as much of a spark as I feel like I did my concern is Anthony Mackie, can he carry this, right?
I don't know.
Or was it one of those things where because Falcon and Winter Soldier, what were we all talking about? Bucky in it, you know?
Yep.
So it's like, is he going to be able to carry this movie is my main concern with it. other than that, I think it looks really good. I forget her name, but the actress who's clearly like the main actress in the movie that they keep showing,
Mhm.
she was in this mini series on Netflix called Unorthodox a few years ago. She did an absolutely amazing job, so I'm happy to see her getting work. But my main concern is, will Anthony Mackie be able to lead this movie?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be okay because you have Harrison Ford is in it, right? And and it looks like they do, like Anthony, like that character is in the inner circle with
Mhm.
like security council president, like all that stuff. So he looks like he's in it with Harrison Ford. So I feel like if the trailer's any indication, there's gonna be really good dialogue back and forth between the two of them. So I'm excited for that. I mean, the effects I think are just going to be fantastic. And like you touched on Red Hulk, I mean, just even the trailer, I didn't know they were red, or just a little stuff like that. I think it's going to be. I'm going to be looking for like all the nuanced stuff.
Yeah.
Because I still have a problem because it's not Chris Evans. Not that
Yeah.
I don't love Anthony Mackie. I
Mhm.
absolutely adore him. But with this being the first actual Captain America movie without Chris Evans in it, I just I'm gonna look for like all the nuanced stuff and not focus on the fact that Chris Evans isn't in it. I think is where my headspace is at least right now, seeing the trailer.
I love that of the two of us, you're the one that's struggling that Chris Evans isn't in it.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I mean, listen, speaking of Chris Evans, right? When you're watching the movie, right? Have you seen the scene? Did you pay attention to the scenes where Sam is in a hospital, clearly talking to someone in a bed? And then there's also a scene of soldiers, like clearly doing like the 21 gun salute. I think they're like Steve
No,
Rogers. I think they're going to show it. I think they're going to show it.
Not.
The last time we saw him was in Endgame, and in Falcon the Winter Soldier, they were like, "Oh, where is he? I heard he's on the moon or something." I think they're killing, just like in what was it? Just like in Civil War when they had Peggy die.
Yeah.
I think Steve Rogers.
That's a solid theory. I actually like that.
You just
I really do.
the fact that I am not going to see this movie.
But if you remember in Falcon and the Winter,
it's like when someone says a dog died in the movie. Well, I'm never seeing it again.
Yeah, no, I'm not either.
You go see
it's
it.
Just a theory.
You go see it, and if they kill Steve Rogers,
just let you know.
I'm never seeing that movie.
But to lend credit to your theory, though, Tia, I like it because in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, not once did anyone say Steve Rogers was dead.
Right,
He's just gone.
Yeah,
right.
They never said he's dead.
He dead. There's no reason to have his death.
Yeah, Steve isn't here anymore.
But he's
Steve's
old.
gone. Blah blah blah.
He's old.
Yeah.
Like he's like really old. So like
there's no reason to address it.
There was no reason to address Peggy's death. I could have dealt.
That's a good point too.
Peggy needed to go.
So does Steve Rogers.
No,
because if they're really supposed to be doing one of those things where Sam is taking the mantle and there is no more Steve Rogers, you kind of have to have that like establishing shot of, yes, we are not bringing back Steve Rogers.
It has to be finalized. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nope. Negative.
Yep. Wow, KJ just got really salty.
Well, not for nothing. They asked Sebastian Stan in an interview I saw where they were like, who's the one person, like the one character you would bring back in the MCU? And he was like, Steve Rogers.
Yeah.
That's just my theory. We'll have to see.
I like that theory.
I think Brave New World.
Well, I don't like it, but I like the merit. I like the merit of the theory. I don't like the fact that he's going to be dead.
I'm going to sleep better tonight just thinking about the fact that Steve Rogers is dead. Get out of my house.
Wow,
Listen,
she is super salty.
KJ, I think people are agreeing with you because we had 6 viewers and it went down to 2 as soon as
Yes, everyone left. They're like, no. I don't need this kind of negativity in my life.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Oh God.
All right, let's move on, right?
Okay.
Yes, before Gary starts doing violent things.
Oh, he used my
Or KJ, sorry.
he used my birth certificate name.
He used your government name. That's serious.
Right?
Uh, so anyway, shifting, right? Speaking about Bucky, right?
Yeah.
They just had another trailer for the Thunderbolts, which I'm so pumped about, right? I think I spoke about this during one of our last What's Popping when they showed a teaser. It's essentially Marvel's version of the Suicide Squad. It looks cool as hell, in my opinion. I loved the trailer of first, I just love David Harbour as Alexei. I'm glad that they brought him in because, you know, some people disliked Black Widow, the movie. I liked it a lot. I'm glad that.
Yeah, I thought it was great.
Like, I don't know. People like really hate on it. They were like, this is the end of Marvel. And I'm like, listen, I get that the third act wasn't great. The reveal of the villain wasn't, you know, great. Taskmaster, you know, whatever.
Yeah, nobody liked how, because that's not how, and it was one of those things. That's not how it goes in the comics. Well,
Right.
You know, they chose to go a different way. If everything is exactly the way it goes in the comics, wouldn't you get bored?
That's how I feel it, but good luck trying to convince some people of that. But I loved it, right? I loved the whole sleeper Russian spies, you know. Yelena and Natasha were great together. I loved again, I loved Alexei. I thought the fights were cool in it. I'm sorry, I loved Black Widow. So
kick-ass movie. It really was. I mean, it was just a great female-led kick-ass movie. Period.
Yeah.
So
I was sad that it didn't, because of, you know, the thing.
Yeah.
That it didn't.
The incident.
It did. You know, like that. I like, as you know, I have loved Black Widow for so long, and the fact that we were, you know, we did not get the big release, the big movie theater opening, the going together with people to see it, like that. It will always make me a little sad for all Black Widow fans and for Scarlett Johansson, right? Like,
well, I mean,
that just got ugly.
It was her dues, right? I mean, during the first phase of Marvel, you're like, all right, Cap, this, that, you know, they got their ones, okay. And then Avengers came. You're like, all right, but they're definitely going to give us a Black Widow movie in phase 2, right? No. So it was long overdue. I thought it was a great story. So in Thunderbolts, I love bringing in David Harbour as Red Guardian, bringing back Florence Pugh. I don't know how to say her. Pugh. Bringing her back as Yelena. And I love in the Thunderbolts, you got them in the car. They got U.S. Agent Ghost from Ant-Man and the Wasp, which who knew that we were ever going to see her again? That's right. And I love where like they're getting chased, and all of a sudden Bucky just comes right through the freaking cloud.
She's shooting out with a pistol, and then kaboom!
And I love Alexei, the Red Guardian, like, oh, the Winter Soldier, they're so cool. I mean, and it really like Sebastian Stan, it like has to be having his renaissance right now. They're like, all right, we just need you to come in and look as cool as possible, and I think he accomplished it. I mean, it looked great. I'm so down for it. I loved it. But what did you guys think of it?
I'll tell you what, I am one of the things I'm most excited about is Julia Louis-Dreyfus being Valentina, because just what little we've had of her so far in the Marvel family. I mean, it's her. I mean, her wittiness and her delivery, just being able to be just like a vicious smartass is something that I'm really, really looking forward to.
100%.
Yeah, I think I mean, it's been a minute since we had a big team up, so I think that's fine, right? Like, I think we
take a break.
Right. So, and I think that the way that they're doing this one, where it's, you know, sort of this like ragtag group, and it's not a, it's not on the level of a Suicide Squad. These are still people that are in general trying to, do some good, even though
Right.
there's a few more assassins than,
But
but
for the most part, yeah.
they've been a little unorthodox in how they've done things, but it's gonna,
they all got
mostly good.
they all got a pretty high kill count. Bucky may or not have kind of like a president or something,
Right.
Yeah,
They're trying, like it's like Yelena says, like like they're looking for their purpose, right? And
Right.
so I think it's going to be really fun. I will say that Red Guardian has grown on me. He was my least favorite part of the Black Widow movie. I did not like the first time we watched it. I was like, I could have done without that guy.
Well, I think because but at the time the movie came out, though, too, it's kind of like how I am with Pedro Pascal, right? Everyone was like David Harbour, just throwing him down your face when that movie came out, though, too. So at that point, you may have been a little exhausted, like had some David Harbour exhaustion.
I don't know what I expected, but the way that he played Red Guardian was not what I was expecting, and so I was like,
he was a little silly, obviously, but the scene in Black Widow where he actually kind of like stops being like that and has that like genuine like father moment with Yelena, I think was like, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
So he's grown on me since I've watched Black Widow multiple times now. So I think with what they're doing with the Thunderbolts, that his kind of goofiness is going to fit in with this group a little bit more than even in Black Widow.
I think it'll also be a good like palate cleanser because Bucky's so serious, Yelena's so serious, John Walker is serious. We really haven't seen a whole lot of Ghost's personality, so I feel like I don't know. Again, the scene maybe it'll play off different in the movie, but like again, Red Guardian going through Bucky. Oh, so what kind of serum did you get? And he's like, I don't know. And so cool.
Fancy. The original Hydra.
Oh, fancy. I think it's gonna be a good group together.
But I also you brought up one of the characters in there that I think there's so much potential for is Ghost, because like you said, there wasn't a big storyline with her and Ant-Man and the Wasp, but like this is like a blank slate for a new character that we get to learn about now, basically, like moving forward. So I'm actually kind of excited about that as well.
Well, and as much as I didn't really like him when he first came on the scene, John Walker seems like in this from the trailers, like we're gonna maybe like him a little bit more.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, John Walker was just trying, as you said, trying to do good. And then he just went a little crazy, obviously, we saw.
A
wee bit.
But, I mean, listen, he's Wyatt Russell. He's Kurt Russell's son, It's like, get him in. Come on, get him in.
Right.
I think as Patches said, like, Ant-Man and the Wasp wasn't my favorite movie. I think a big criticism of it was that it really didn't have a villain at the end of the day. And we saw like such like surface level thing of Ghost that I was really surprised that they even brought her in, but not a bad surprise. It's like, oh, okay. As Patches said, you have a blank slate really to kind of bring her in and do something with her character. So I think it looks dope. I'm pumped. It's like, okay.
I'll be honest, of the two movies that we just talked about the trailers of, I'm more excited for Thunderbolts, I think.
Me too. I would agree with that.
I feel bad saying that. Because Captain America, I was like, oh.
No,
I'm way less excited about Captain America after this conversation.
Listen,
let it go, bro.
I'm very excited for Captain America: Brave New World, but yes, as you said, I think Thunderbolts just looks like the more fun out of the two. And these are characters that like we don't really know, except for Bucky, obviously. But did you KJ, not to be a buzzkill, did you see the Did you see the theory online that people are saying that what if Bucky dies this movie and this is his last movie?
Oh my God. I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah, I might have an issue with that because I was pissed after Infinity War. I was mad. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, Spider-Man!" I'm like, "Screw Spider-Man! Bucky died."
Wait, when Infinity War came out, my friend Kelly saw it first, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to know anything. I don't want to know anything." I was like, "But who dies?" And she's like, "You should be asking me who doesn't die." And I'm like, "Oh no!"
Yeah, that was rough.
To this day, I've never walked out or gone into a theater or walked out of a theater. I remember arriving when Infinity War was showing, and just the silence of people walking out of theaters, going out to their cars. It was so weird. And then after we saw it, and we were the same people who were like, "Oh, I get it. I get it."
I don't think you could
It was the
recreate.
weirdest thing.
I don't think you could recreate that. The fact that we all were just silent in the movie theater as it was happening, it was like, is that really how they're going to end it?
Yeah.
Is that how they're going to end it?
And then we have to wait a year.
Oh.
And then I remember people online were like, no, those characters are really gone forever. This is how Marvel purges because they got to make room for new ones. And I was like, shut up. I know.
Wrong answer.
Now, Tia, I will say I haven't seen the theories, but I myself thought that when I saw that Bucky was going to be in this. Not that I don't want him to die because I love Bucky, but how long can the character go on? Like there, so much of what Bucky was bouncing off of Steve, and then and so I could totally see this being like a big sacrifice moment, right?
Yeah.
Where like right at that, key moment, somebody needs to make the sacrifice. And this is Bucky's swan song. Because you also don't want him like lingering around too long either without his own storyline. And it doesn't seem like there's anything other than this that is really his future. So,
but conversely, don't you think that in a way Bucky could potentially be the glue that holds a lot of different story arcs together as well?
He could almost be the Nick Fury.
Yeah, kind of.
I think it could go either way, but if they don't have a plan for him, I also don't want him just kind of wandering around from showing up in other people's series and other people's movies. Like, I don't think that is the right path for Bucky either. So,
well, you're not the Kevin. Yeah,
I am not.
Well, I mean, that's why a lot of people were sad and mad about this, but that's why I had no problem with Steve Rogers' end and also Tony's end. And that's going to sound very controversial. Like, oh, you wanted Tony Stark to die? If you think about it, his whole entire arc started with him being very selfish, not wanting to do anything for other people, and to literally give everything up to make sure that I'm like, it's the perfect end. It's like, I'm sorry that it's tragic, but it was like perfectly bittersweet. And Steve Rogers going back to, people are like, oh, he went back to Peggy and everything. Why? It's like, that was the love of his life. Like,
of course he was.
Yeah.
He went back. I thought that was great. So, I mean, in my mind, it's like, yes, we should have stories that tie up in bows and everything. Now, granted, the only one that I am not happy with is Black Widow's end. I'm sorry. All right. As much as I like the Hawkeye show now, the idea that like you end one of the legacy Avengers by just chucking her off a freaking cliff. No, I'm sorry.
Well, technically she chucked herself off the cliff.
And that was another dumb thing. The two of them racing to see, I'm gonna die. And it's like, that was such.
I hated all of that.
Yeah,
I hated every second of that, and I think that maybe that's the problem a little bit with with Thor, right? Like, not to like get off on a tangent or anything, but I loved Ragnarok, right? And I Ragnarok's so good. I love Thor in both Infinity War and Endgame. hated Love and Thunder. Like absolutely, like I can't think of any redeeming quality for that movie. And it's kind of like to stretch out.
The
I don't know.
soundtrack.
The soundtrack was
pretty good.
The soundtrack was a banger. It was.
I'm just saying, like, even Loki's story in season 2 of Loki, I think tied up really well and everything.
Right.
So I don't know. They're coming out with a 5th Thor.
I know.
At this point, I'm like,
this is the character we're going to keep going with. Like,
and then at this point, you don't have Loki, right? Like, you don't have Jane.
Yeah.
You got Valkyrie. You got Valkyrie, Korg, and Meek.
Yeah.
That's it.
I don't know, dude.
I mean,
unless you're going to do flashbacks, just to incorporate.
I think you go for a more serious tone for this one instead of being goofy.
How do you ever do a Thor movie seriously?
Have him be like a crazy like space Viking, like they said in Infinity War. Like, you know, remember
he snaps after Jane dies. He finally snaps.
Remember his look in Endgame when he like, you know, gets both and it's all like braided beard awesome. And it's like, let's do that. Continue that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I didn't completely dislike Love and Thunder, but it wasn't like, oh man, I can't wait to see that again. I'm good.
Have you watched it a second time?
I have.
He has. I have not.
The dialogue. I focused more on the dialogue the second time around, and it was much better.
Okay.
I thought it was much better. Give it another go. I mean, and don't worry about the plot. I mean, like they literally just threw that just so Jane Foster could die.
I did watch it a second time. I just remember being in the theater and the opening scene went on so long and it was so weird that I literally thought we were in the wrong movie.
Yeah.
I was like, I think we're in the wrong movie theater. Did we check the sign on the door? Did they tell us wrong? Like, I've never sat in a theater so long being like, I'm definitely not watching the right movie. Because it was so weird.
Yeah.
My main thing is like with that, right? And obviously like it's said and done at this point. So, but it felt like just too goofy. Like Ragnarok to me was the right amount of little goofiness. Thor Love and Thunder really leaned into it a little too much. You know, you having Thor with that terrible tattoo on his back, and we were supposed to be like, haha, it's so funny. I don't know. And then like the stupid screaming goats, and then the kids fighting at the end. And how do you bring Christian Bale in and you absolutely waste having Christian Bale? It's like it was such a bummer. I think when it like derailed for me was when they went to see all the gods.
Yeah, and it was just so I was like, you have lost
you're not invited to the orgy.
Yeah. And the thing is, it could have been cool because I like, as you know from my Twitter handle, that's still Save American Gods. Mm-hmm. I love the.
I know. I've been hashtag
never forget.
Never forget. Listen. If the Snyder Bros can do it, I can do it too.
All right. I'll change my hashtag to hashtag Save Firefly. Just hang out there with you, okay? We'll see which one we get first.
God. But I love the idea of like having all these like mythological like god figures and everything. That could have been such an opportunity for a cool moment. And I did feel a little cool at the post-credit scene when they were like, oh, Hercules was going to go after Thor. I was like, cool, let's get into like the mythological thing about this, you know? But I just didn't really like the movie at all. So
yeah, it did fall flat.
It fell so flat.
They tried too hard.
Yeah. But which is why I thought Loki season 2 was going to be bad, but I loved Loki season 2. I thought it really stuck the landing. So
oh yeah.
I don't know, but That's kind of like my Marvel, news and everything. We got some trail. I saw KJ yawning, and I was like,
I'm
KJ,
so
don't worry.
sorry. I'm like, oh my God, I'm about
No.
done. Sorry.
KJ, the day I feel you, and I'm like, don't worry, we're not going to be on here for 3 hours, all right? I was like, I'm already looking at the time and going, oh shoot.
Like, no, we're fine. No, it's been incredibly enjoyable. I'm just, like you said, it's been dark for like 5 hours. My body's like, can we go to bed, please?
Oh my God.
Yeah, 8:00 feels like midnight right now.
Every time my dog looks at me to be like, let's go outside. And I'm like, it's pitch black out right now. Sorry.
No, your cat knows what's up.
Wait, so recently we had a house guest, my friend Brittany from Arkansas, who was actually my co-host for the Top 10 for years and everything. Yeah. She was here last weekend. She slept on the futon. This cat, every single morning, we'd be like, where's Apollo? Laying up on her and everything. Like, totally.
I love it.
Totally betrayed us. And so it's okay.
Now,
it's okay.
Now he's in a deep depression because his friend is gone. Like, I'm just gonna lay her on this pillow.
He's just chill. One of my cousins feels a kindred like bond with him because she has asthma and he has asthma. So it's like they're the asthma babies together. Sure. So yeah. But KJ, do you want to take it away and everything?
Sure. Wrap it up, guys. I gotta go to bed. Yeah. So if you're watching this on Geek Vibes Nation, you can follow us, KJ Today and the Kinda Nerdy Network. Just go on YouTube, KJ Today. If you go to kindanerdynetwork.com, it will take you to our Facebook group and all of our social media handles and all of that good stuff so that you can follow along with all of the Kinda Nerdy stuff that we are doing. Thanks, Tia.
Yay! Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it. Please make sure that you follow KJ at the KJ Today Show. We do What's Poppin' frequently. We also have our monthly podcast and everything. And if you are not subscribed to Geek Vibes Nation, what's wrong with you? Do it now. So anyway, thanks everyone. Bye.
Bye.